support, we can find our mother and we can bring her home. Thank you all for your time, for your compassion, and your willingness to assist. We are determined to continue our search without pause. And to our mother, to Nana, to a mother, to a friend, to a community leader, we will never give up. We love you. We will find you safe and bring you home. And with that, we'll turn it over to the detectives leading the case. And again, thank you for your time. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending this press conference. My name is Detective Derek Spencer, and to my right here is Detective Michael Medina. He and I have been working this case since we received notification of Mrs. Miles's disappearance. We are diligently working the case with conjunction from information from the family that we have received, and following every intelligent lead that will hopefully bring us to some kind of resolution. Any questions, I guess, that we are permitted to answer, we will do so.
Can you confirm her car was found in Pearland?
Yes, the vehicle was located by Pearland Police Department. A traffic stop was initiated by one of their patrol units where a male subject, occupying the vehicle alone, was inside the vehicle.
Do you know who that man is?
We do have his identity. He was arrested by Pearland Police Department on unrelated charges to this investigation.
Do you know his relationship to her, if they know each other, or if he stole her car?
It is our understanding that the two, Mrs. Miles and the subject, do not know one another. The vehicle is presumed is stolen.
Was her phone found inside that vehicle?
That is unknown. That is unknown.
Is he considered a suspect in her disappearance or a person of interest?
He's a person of interest.
Can you recap her last known whereabouts? Kind of the last things you know about her?
The timeline that we have is August the 21st at about 10:45 p.m. is the last date and time of contact with Ms. Miles. The following between, I guess, August 22nd at about maybe 5:45. So you have those hours of the last time Ms. Miles was heard from, and 5:45 a.m. where there was no more contact with her.
And so how was she discovered to be missing?
We received a call from the family of Ms. Miles reporting her as a missing person. When contact, I believe, with her son John here, or on the 28th, where there was no response from Karen. So a report was initiated by our patrol division, and it was assigned to the CID division here at the Missouri City Police Department to investigate.
So the 21st and 10:45 is the last time she was heard from. But you think something happened between 10:45 and 5:45 the next morning? Is that right?
That is our belief.
Okay. But then she was reported missing a few days later. How have you guys pieced together that 5:45 time frame?
Just based on interviews that we've conducted with individuals that we've arrested, along with Ms. Miles' place of employment. We know that she was scheduled to be at work that morning, roughly about 6 a.m. on the 22nd, and she never arrived there.
And you said persons that you guys have arrested. Does that include this fellow in Pearland?
We have not made any arrest, but there are individuals that we have spoken with some knowledge, perhaps, of developing our timeline on beginning to end as far as where our Mrs. Miles last being heard from.
And where was she last seen or heard from? Was she last known to be at her house or?
We believe her residence, an apartment complex.
And where was her car found?
The vehicle was stopped in Pearland, and within their jurisdiction, their city limits.
Do you know if it was outside the business or was it found? The man was pulled over during the traffic stop in her car, right?
Yes, it's my understanding the vehicle was leaving a grocery store parking lot in Pearland, and Pearland police, I believe, received a hit on a stolen license plate for that vehicle, and a traffic stop was initiated at that time.
Where is that vehicle right now? Is it here in the Missouri City Police Department? Is it still in Pearland?
The vehicle is here at our police department where it was processed for evidence. So yes, it's still here.
Has that man who was arrested provided any information about how he got that car?
We spoke with him right after his arrest, maybe a couple days later. He explained to us how he acquired the vehicle. We vetted that information and determined it not to be true.
Do you believe Karen Miles is in danger?
I'm hopeful. We will always remain hopeful that Miss Miles is found safe. I've conveyed our hopefulness to the Miles' family as well. But right now, that's all we can hope for.
Have there been any tips that have helped in this case? I know Ms. Miles is very beloved by her community, by her rodeo committee. Has anyone come forward with big tips that are helping to find her by chance?
No, ma'am, not this time.
Her home, did it appear that anyone had forced entry?
No.
Do you have any idea why this guy would take her car? I mean, do you think she was robbed or?
We're still trying to put everything together. Just from our preliminary investigation, I don't want to be presumptuous, but just based on what we have learned up to this point, we do not think a robbery occurred.
Or if she was targeted?
That is still unknown. But like I said, I do not think that this individual in custody and Miss Miles knew each other.
Is that individual in custody with Pearland Police right now?
Yes.
Do you know where he took her car? Where he maybe stole it from or where he got her car? Did he take it from her house?
It is our belief that the vehicle was taken, I guess, from Miss Miles' residence.
Do you guys have a working theory of what happened, or are you still kind of in the early phases of needing more information to piece together a storyline?
Yes, we're still trying to confirm everything that we have learned to this point. We have working theories, but of course those theories do have to be confirmed.
Are there any active searches going on in partnership with EquiSearch to try and find Mrs. Miles?
EquiSearch is at our disposal. Once we get definitive information with Mrs. Miles' location, then they will obviously be deployed.
Are there any specific areas that police are searching where she might be?
No, because we do not have any idea where she could be.
You say the gentleman that was found in her car was arrested on unrelated charges. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what those charges are?
Those stem from, I can comment that he was arrested with the fictitious license plate that was being displayed on Ms. Miles' vehicle. The other charges, you would have to confer or speak with Pearland for more specifics on that.
Will you be releasing his name since he's considered a person of interest?
Hopefully in the days to come, we will. Yes, ma'am.
I think she has some medical concerns, right? She needs her insulin.
Yes, it is our understanding she is a diabetic.
Is it unusual for someone to be missing this long, just disappear without a trace?
It's unusual, and especially when it's not a part of who they are. It's not a normal occurrence. Just based on what we've learned about Miss Miles, this is not something that would ordinarily do.
Any other people of interest, or so far is this the only person?
Yes, right now, the subject in custody is one of our persons of interest, but as the investigation continues, perhaps more persons of interest could be revealed.
But right now it's just one.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it your belief that the gentleman that's in custody knows what happened to her?
We think he has pieces to the puzzle. Like I said, he could have pieces to the puzzle, but we cannot just solely just become limited. We have to look at everything.
Has the police department obtained any surveillance video showing him in her car or anything that happened prior to her disappearance?
No, there is no surveillance that we could locate.
Detective, is it safe to say that her residence doesn't offer any type of evidence that would lead you to her, that it just seems like a normal residence with nothing there?
That's correct. There was nothing out of the ordinary with the residence. Once we had a chance to go inside, there was nothing that yielded any information.
Is there any surveillance video from neighbors possibly that could have captured the car being taken and driven off by that man?
No, this apartment complex, there are no from individual residents on location.
Do you suspect foul play in this case?
That is our gut. That is our initial belief that there is foul play, especially with Miss Miles being being missing for the extended amount of time that she has been.
So, you believe she's not alive?
I'm not going to say that. It is our belief, and we will always remain hopeful that Miss Miles is found safe.
Again, thank you all for your time here today. Thank you for all of you who have extended your support, again, in a number of different ways. And again, I will share the number one more time. If there are any details or information that you would like to share, please contact the Missouri City Police Department at 281-403-8700. This is an active search effort at this moment, in the sense that we consider our mother, our Nana, our Karen to be very much alive, and we look and affirm for her to be brought home safe, so that the healing process with our family can begin. And we look forward to you all using and leveraging your spaces in the community, in the news, only to that end, to bring Karen home safely. So again, thank you, detectives. Thank you all for being here, and we look forward to more and positive updates. Thank you again.
Can you share a little more about her? What was her occupation?
I'm not taking any additional questions in that regard, but if you want to speak to who she is as a person, she's a very wonderful person who has done a lot of great things in this community for as long as I've been alive, and she is a person that we should continue to look for deliberately, intentionally, and thoroughly until she's found. Thank you very much.